We will talk a ton of college football here on Off the Bench, but specifically every week during this segment, we're going to do it. Here's the newest edition of Finding College Football to talk about.
Fever Dream Game of the Week.
Did we workshop that?
All of the hype of a late November gridiron battle and what early season Power 5 non-conference college football should look like every season. The place, Austin, Texas, capital city of the Lone Star State, as the number 9 ranked Texas Longhorns host your number 6 Fighting Tigers of LSU. So now, no review. It'll be 4th down, goal to goal again inside the 1. Ehlinger ready to take the snap, running downhill near side. Tigers on him, and Tigers bring him down at the 2-yard line. Burrow with the snap. Here comes the blitz. Burrow steps away from it, throws, catch made. Justin Jefferson has it at the 38, racing down the far line, sideline, 10-5, touchdown Tigers! 61-yard touchdown reception. And that's going to do it here from Austin. The final second's going to roll off the clock, and head coach Ed Ogeron and his Tigers do something LSU has never done. Non-conference opponent on the road, ranked in the top 10, and they get the victory tonight as the horn sounds, and this one is in the books.
LSU.
Take me back to that time.
45-38 winners. LSU offensively,
A simpler time,
573 total yards. The Tigers quarterback threw for 471, which at the time was the second most in program history. I remember getting back here the Monday morning following the Texas game and screaming into this microphone that LSU had finally found a quarterback that you could take into any environment, play anybody, anywhere, at any time, and have a legitimate chance to win. This was the first of Burrow's Heisman moments. Rivers played it for you in that last bite coming in. That was the 3rd and 17. But I'll always reference, to me, T-Bob, the drive that stands out in the LSU-Texas game offensively, and they even played the 4th down stop early on from the defense. The defense played well that night. In the second half, Ehlinger went crazy. But the first half drive going into halftime where LSU gets the ball back because of a nice defensive stop, and Derek Stingley Jr. sets him up with pretty good field position after about a 12 or 13-yard punt return and puts him right on the backside of midfield, and Burrow strikes an out route to Jamar Chase, stops the clock, hits a crossing route to Justin Jefferson that puts him in good field position. Then on the first play, first down there on the 3rd play of the drive, he throws a back shoulder to Justin Jefferson to get points before half. That's the shot of
such
Burrow
a pretty throw,
where
dude.
he's standing straight up and he's kind of pointing down at himself, kind of saying like, this, I don't know what he was saying, but I mean, looking at it, I have chills. You have it? This is what it sounded like.
1st and 10 at the 21. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Burrow again, a shotgun snap. Fires this time, going up for it, Justin Jefferson. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers!
Yeah, that was one of those.
21-yard touchdown pass.
That was one of those picture-perfect plays where you watch that replay. He hits that back foot, the ball's coming out. Back shoulder to where only Jefferson can make the play on it.
All 3 wide receivers that night, Jamar Chase, Terrace Marshall, and Justin Jefferson go over 100 yards. In fact, their numbers for the night, Burrow was 31 of 39, 471, 4 touchdowns and an interception. The receiving core, Justin Jefferson had 9 grabs for $163 and 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had 8 for 147, and Terrace had 6 for 123 and a score.
The interception is easy to overlook there with how that game ended up. In the second half, scoring tit for tat, the duel that you saw between Burrow and Ehlinger, and it was so epic. But if you remember in that first half, you had the great goal line stand, which was a great job by the defense. Then you throw that pick in a bad spot. And remember, this is now, it's like, oh, well, of course LSU came back out and was just throwing the ball. At that time, you only really had the Georgia Southern game to pull from.
That was it.
You throw that pick in your own end zone. Last year, that would have been a recipe for the coaching staff to completely retract within itself, right? Or right now, I guess 2 years ago. The season prior to this last one, they would have retracted. They would have been mad about making a mistake. They would have gone way more conservative. They did the polar opposite this game. They continued to push whatever it's a pick. We're going to keep going. And then that carried all the way through to the 3rd and 17 decision-making, which that whole game was just a coming-out party. It was a coming-out party to the offense. It wasn't just Georgia Southern. The offense was legitimate. Joe Burrow was one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, and it was a new time in LSU philosophically. that it was time to push the gas. It was time to be aggressive. It was time to trust in your quarterback and your playmakers. And I'll just never forget watching that game with the neighbors and drinking beers. Everybody had a great time, and I just kept asking, do we live in the era of LSU football where the offense can win you a game like this? Little did I know what was coming down the pipeline.
Well, that's the beautiful thing of it, right? When you go back and relive this moment and take yourself back to that. When I was watching it last night and watching it again this morning, was that the worst play that Burrow made all season? The interception out of his own end zone?
I actually haven't seen it again, to be honest. I'm trying to remember. I thought, did it get tipped?
It got tipped at the line,
Yeah.
but he threw it into the middle of the field. It was an interception. I mean, just a normal Saturday play that you see every week when you turn on college football that LSU fans rarely saw in 2019. Yeah. And when reliving it, I thought to myself, damn, I really can't remember a play where it might have been any worse than that. And it wasn't that bad.
I mean, you want to talk about you want to talk about good, just fortuitous breaks, though. Remember the guy dropping the 4th and goal, running back wide open.
It hit him in the face.
Perfect
hit him
play.
In the hands.
Nobody within 5 yards around him in a game that you end up winning by 7, where momentum meant so much. And if you were to if you were to take the LSU football team from the end of the year and you put it back in the game, they smashed Texas, right? But teams have to evolve over time. And like we always say, en route to a championship, you got to have some lucky breaks along the way. And that's like just a little butterfly effect where if he had caught that ball, how much about last year is all different.
All right, so college football, reliving some of the moments of 2019. We'll do that each week here, each Wednesday on Off the Bench, some of the biggest games of 19, and get into college football discussion. We'll invite your interaction, players, teams highlighted over the past couple of seasons that we want to talk about. You can bring it to light inside the huddle if you'd like to get in there. Powered by the Bayou Ford Group every day here on Off the Bench.